वेलकम टू पाकिस्तान रिएक्शन इंडिया चैनल में आपको एक दफा फिर खुशी आमदीद कहता हूँ। उम्मीद है कि सारे लोग खैर खैरियत होंगे, ठीक ठाक होंगे और बढ़िया होंगे। वीडियो शुरू करने से पहले आपसे बस छोटी सी गुजारिश है, मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दें, लाइक कर दें, बेल आइकन लाजमी क्लिक करें ताकि मेरी हर आने वाली वीडियो को सबसे पहले सब जल्दी मिल सके गाइस। सो गाइस, वीडियो आज बड़े कमाल की होने वाली है गाइस। वीडियो का टाइटल बड़ा कमाल का है गाइस। सो पहले वीडियो का टाइटल बताते हैं, फिर वीडियो का आगाज करते हैं गाइस। वीडियो का टाइटल है वो ये है, द अनसी ट्रस्ट ऑफ इंडिया वर्ल्ड नीड टू नो। पहले वीडियो देखते हैं, बाद में रिएक्शन करते हैं। इसका मतलब ये है कि इंडिया का जो बिना देखा सच्चाई है वो पूरी दुनिया को मालूम होनी चाहिए गाइस। सो पहले वीडियो को देखते हैं, बाद में रिएक्शन करते हैं। 1 2 3 गो।
What is the first image comes to your mind when you hear the name of India? Like this?
Tell me guys.
Or this, right? Because your media mostly
पहले मैं ऐसे ही सोचता था, पर
in front of you.
अब कुछ और
Okay,
सोचता
let
हूँ।
me show you something different than your media. If I say this is
Oh,
India,
yeah,
will you believe me?
yeah, by
You will
India.
not, because
Kamal.
most probably you have never seen India in this way.
Right,
But
right,
actually,
right,
this is
brother.
real India which has been hidden from you. The slums, busy and chaotic cities you see on TV or mobile is only a smallest part of India.
True.
India
True.
is actually pretty normal. And this is the one thing that a lot of people don't understand about India. Okay, let me show you some major cities of India. This is Mumbai. This is Delhi. This
Delhi.
is Kolkata. This is Gurgaon. This is Noida. This is
कमाल का
Hyderabad. This is Pune. This is Bangalore.
हर
This
शेप
is
इंडिया की
Chennai.
डिफरेंट
This is
वो करते
Surat.
हैं। होए
This
कमाल
is Thane.
Wow,
And there
यार।
are many such modern cities in India.
कमाल। इंडिया जिस
Okay,
तरह
let's
डेवलप
come
कर
to
रहा है
the
ना,
rural
दुबई को
part of
चिपचे
India,
छोड़
and
देगा।
I'm pretty sure that according to you, the Indian villages are look something like this or this, right? But actually, this is not even 5% part of Indian villages. More than 95% of Indian villages are look something like this.
ओ वाओ वाओ कमाल
Due to
यार।
the large population of India, the Indian villages are also so big. Look at this. This is not a city or town, but it's a village called
Oh,
Madhapur,
wow.
located in the Indian state of Gujarat.
वाओ जस्ट से
After a
वाओ
lot of
गाइस,
struggle in
जस्ट से वाओ।
1947, when India got independence from the British Empire, India's economy was only $25 billion. Even in 1991, India's economy was less than the economy of Paris and London.
ओके
And now India has more economy
Yes.
than the France and the UK. In 2014, India's economy was ranked 10th in the world. But
Right.
now in 2022, India has become the 5th largest economy in the world with a huge
Right.
GDP of $3.5 trillion
I agree.
in just last
I
8
agree,
years.
brother.
India has overtaken 5 major economies like Canada, Russia, Italy, Brazil, France and the UK. And this is really impressive.
राइट।
Royal Canin's
Oh,
Puppy Growth
sorry,
program
guys,
provides the
sorry.
nutrients
I
your
am
dog
working.
needs for the ideal foundation to a
Sorry
healthy
guys,
life.
that is
QuickBooks
not good।
Self-Employed matches and categorizes expenses
Sorry, guys.
automatically. Maximize your tax savings this year.
सॉरी।
India is the fastest growing major economy in the world, and
Right.
according to IMF, India is set to surpass Germany and Japan to become the world's third largest economy by 2027.
वाओ
India is already the third largest economy in the
Wow,
world
yeah,
in terms of
structure देखो।
PPP GDP with a huge GDP of $11.7 trillion. And by 2030, India's nominal GDP is expected to be $8.5 trillion.
By
But India's
2030.
potential is much more than this. After
कमाल।
the USA, Russia and China, the Indian military is the fourth most powerful military in the world. And with a budget of $76.6 billion, India has the largest defense budget in the world. Over 1.45 million active personnel, over 1.15 million reserve personnel, and over 2.52 million paramilitary. The Indian military is the largest military in the world with a total 5.13 million military personnel. India is also a nuclear armed country. The country is holding some of the most powerful nuclear weapons in the world, such as intercontinental ballistic missiles, Agni 5, Agni 6, K5 and K6, which has a massive range of 5,000 km to 12,000 km. Even some experts say that India hidden a dangerous weapon called Agni 7 or Surya, which has a massive range of 12,000 km to 16,000 km.
ओके
There are only 4 countries in the world that have anti-satellite weapons, and India is one of them. India has capability to destroy the communication system of any country in the world by destroying their satellite in this space. The Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) is among the world's top 5 most successful space agencies. ISRO has successfully launched over 386 foreign satellites for 36 different countries, including satellites of USA, Germany, France, and the UK, and successfully launched over 134 Indian origin satellites. There are many misconceptions about India have been born in the world, especially in the West, and that's why many people make the mistake of underestimating India. For example, in 2013, when India announced that India will also send its satellite and rover to Mars, the New York Times made fun of India like this. But after just 1 year in 2014, India became the first country in the world to reach Mars in the first attempt. And just few years later, in 2017, India created an incredible world record by launching 104 satellites from a single rocket. And then India made fun of New York Times like this. This is called sweet revenge. India is among the world's 4 countries that have successfully reached Mars and Moon both. Others are USA, Russia, and China. And among the 5 countries that have their own GPS navigation system, others are USA, Russia, China, and Japan. After USA and China, India has the highest number of billionaires in the world. As of 2022, India has total 237 billionaires. The Indian stock market is the fastest growing major stock market in the world. Even 2 out of the world's 10 largest stock exchanges are Indian. And India is said to be world's the largest stock market by 2030 with a total expected market cap of over $11 trillion. The world's fastest growing startup ecosystem. In 2014, India had only 400 startups, and as of 2022, India has over 77,000 startups, which makes India globally the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world after USA and China. As well as India has 3rd highest number of unicorns in the world. The country is home to the 108 unicorns with a total valuation of $341 billion.
Wow.
India is already among the top 5 most industrialized countries with a total output of $900 billion, and it is said to be 3rd most industrialized country by 2030 with an expected industrial output of more than $3 trillion.
Wow.
Currently, India is the 8th largest exporter in the world. Total export of India was $675 billion in 2021. And the country is on the way to become the 3rd largest exporter in the world by 2030 with an expected export of more than $2 trillion.
2 trillion.
India is emerging as factory of the world due to its large skilled workforce. Even in 2021, India overtaken USA and became the 2nd most attractive manufacturing destination globally, second only to China. Production. India is the largest producer of tractor, two-wheeler, spice, dairy products, milk, ginger, turmeric, and sugar. Second largest producer of smartphone, steel, cement, vegetable, fruit, rice, wheat, and cotton. 3rd largest producer of electricity, renewable energy, gems, and jewelry. 4th largest producer of cars and trucks. The Indian textile industry is the 2nd largest textile industry in the world with a total valuation of over $225 billion. The country is well known as hub of information technology. The annual revenue of Indian IT industry is more than $200 billion, and it is said to be $350 to $400 billion by 2025 and more than $1 trillion by 2030. Also known as the pharmacy of the world, the country's massive pharmaceutical industry is the source of more than 50% of global demand for various vaccines. India is the largest provider of generic drugs globally. Over 40% generic drugs in the USA and over 25% of all medicine in the UK are supplied by India. It is difficult to imagine how world would be able to combat AIDS without India, because globally over 80% of antiretroviral drugs which is using to combat AIDS are supplied by India. Known as the potential superpower, India is the 2nd most populous country in the world, and its potential is unlimited. The country has largest young force in the world, more than 50% of its population below the age of 25 and more than 65% of its population below the age of 35. And this young power is helping India to become an economic superpower like USA, China, and European Union. But still, if you think that India is a poor country, then let me tell you that Indian household own the largest amount of gold, 25,000 tons to 30,000 tons, which is worth over $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion, and it is more than the economy of Australia, South Korea, and Italy. Even Indian temple alone have 4,000 to 5,000 tons of gold, which is worth more than $300 billion and
Wow.
is more than the economy of New Zealand and Finland. Indians are just love golds and jewelry, and that's why India is the biggest consumer of gold, silver, jewelry, and gems. Many people in the world, mostly in the West, use HDI and per capita to criticize India, but they forget that India is the fastest growing major economy in the world. Currently,
Wow.
India's HDI is considered in the medium category, which is expected to move to the high human development category by 2025. Even today, 14 Indian states are comes in the high human development category, and 13
Wow.
Indian states are very close to achieve this. And many
Zabardast.
Indian states have more GDP per capita than the per capita of many European countries. Well, India is 7 to 10 times cheaper than the Europe and America.
Wow.
India
Good.
is just like
Good,
China.
good.
As China developed itself in the past, today India is developing in the same way. According to recent UN study, the country has left more than 415 million people out of poverty since 2005, and according to World Bank, poverty in India has reduced by 12.3% between 2011 to 2019 from 22.5% in 2011 to only 10% in 2019.
Wow.
And
Sorry,
according
yeah.
to recent study of IMF, India has almost wiped out extreme poverty. The percentage of people living in the extreme poverty in India is only 0.8% now.
Wow. Sorry.
The country is home to the rich culture and spirituality. No
वो तो
country in the world
100%
as
true है.
diverse as India.
Culture
There
India
are
में ना
20
ऐसा नहीं हो
states
सकता
and
भाई.
8 union territories in India, and they all have their own culture, music, languages, races, and food. And no country in the world is more colorful than India. Even India has entire colorful cities like Jaipur, the city of pink, Udaipur, the city of white,
White.
Jodhpur, the city of blue, Jaisalmer, the
Sorry.
city of gold, and Kanyakumari, the city of 7 colors. India is whole world itself. India has snow like Greenland, beauty like Switzerland, desert like Arab, wildlife like Africa, beautiful cities like Europe, forest like Brazil, and mountains like Japan. Even India has a white desert also.
सही सही.
100,000 of beautiful temples, historical monuments, incredible architecture sites, extremely beautiful hill stations like Manali, Nainital,
Wow.
Simla, and Spiti Valley. India
कमाल
is
यार.
just incredible.
कमाल हो गया.
India is transforming itself as global economic powerhouse. The country is home to the highest number of under construction mega projects in the world. Project Bharatmala cost $140 billion. Project Sagarmala cost $130 billion. Project DMIC cost $100 billion. Projects 100 Smart City cost $100 billion. These are few big projects out of them. As well as the country is spending a massive amount of $1.5 trillion to modernize and develop its infrastructure. Along with this, seeing the growth of country's urbanization, India is also creating many new and futuristic cities like Gift City, Dholera SIR, and Amravati Smart City. The
Okay.
fastest growing major economy, the fastest growing major stock market, the fastest growing startup ecosystem, healthcare, technology, infrastructure, and industries. India is performing excellent, and this is what the world should know about India.
Right. रिएक्शन टाइम गाइस. रिएक्शन बड़ा कमाल का होने वाला है गाइस. इतना सब कुछ गाइस. ज़बरदस्त यार. भाई ने बहुत ज़बरदस्त तरीके से इंडिया को डिस्क्राइब किया है गाइस. बहुत कमाल वीडियो थी गाइस ये वाली. मेरा तो होश उड़ गया यार. मेरा तो सारा ध्यान ही वीडियो में देखने का था, कहीं और मैं देख नहीं रहा था. आपसे इस समय वीडियो में बात करता हूँ वो तक नहीं होती, सारा ध्यान ही वीडियो तक था. भाई ने सही कहा कि इंडियन का जो मीडिया है ना वो सही तरह इंडिया को डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकता इस तरह भाई ने इंडिया को डिस्क्राइब किया. पहले इंडिया ने मून पे अपना सैटेलाइट दे भेजा, वो भी फर्स्ट ट्राई के अंदर. सेकंड ट्राई नहीं की, थर्ड ट्राई नहीं की, फोर्थ ट्राई नहीं की, फर्स्ट ट्राई के अंदर. और वो न्यूयॉर्क टाइम वालों ने क्या बनाया था, इंडिया का मजाक उड़ाया था. फिर इंडिया ने वापसी मजाक उड़ाया अमेरिका वालों का. गुड हो गया इंडिया, ज़बरदस्त हो गया. इंडिया 2 ट्रिलियन तक पहुंचने वाला है गाइस प्रोजेक्ट. इंडिया की इकोनॉमी बहुत ज़बरदस्त तरीके से बूस्ट कर रही है गाइस. 2030 तक इंडिया का सब कुछ डेवलप हो जाएगा गाइस. इंडिया का आपने शहर देखे गाइस. इतने ज़बरदस्त शहर थे गाइस इंडिया के आपने शहर देखे गाइस, बहुत बहुत ज़बरदस्त वीडियो थी गाइस ये वाली, मेरी तो नज़र ही नहीं हट रही थी वीडियो से गाइस, बहुत कमाल की वीडियो थी गाइस। आई लाइक दिस वीडियोस, बहुत कमाल की थी गाइस। और भाई ने सब कुछ डिस्क्राइब किया, सब कुछ डिस्क्राइब कर दिया गाइस। जिस तरह चाइना खुद अपने पैरों पे खड़ा हुआ है, इसी तरह इंडिया भी खुद अपने पैरों पे खड़ा हो रहा है। ऐसा किसी से मदद नहीं मांग रहा, कुछ नहीं कर रहा, वो अपने बलबूते पे खड़ा हो रहा है। ऐसा जिस तरह चाइना हुआ है अपने पैरों पे खड़ा खुद ही, इस तरह इंडिया भी अपने पैरों पे खड़ा हो रहा है गाइस। ऐसा अपने पैरों पे खड़ा हो रहा है। ज़बरदस्त गाइस, इंडिया बहुत आगे निकल रहा है, बहुत आगे निकल रहा है। इन द फ्यूचर इंडिया अमेरिका को पीछे छोड़ जाएगा। अभी उसने कनाडा, यूके, जर्मनी को भी छोड़ दिया, पता नहीं किस किस स्टेट को इंडिया पीछे छोड़ के, किस कंट्री को पीछे छोड़ के आगे बढ़ रहा है। अभी इंडिया कितने नंबर पे है? पहले नंबर अमेरिका, रूस, चाइना, चौथे नंबर पे इंडिया। आने वाले दिनों में इंडिया नंबर 1 या नंबर 2 पे होगा। ये बात हमें लिख के रख लें। इंडिया जिस तरह से अपने डेवलप कर रहा है अपनी कंट्री को, जिस तरह जा रहा है इंडिया, आने वाले दिनों में तो बहुत आगे होगा गाइस इंडिया। सो गाइस, आपको वीडियो कैसी लगी आज की कमेंट में लाजमी बताइएगा। आपसे मिलते हैं बहुत जल्दी अगली वीडियो में। जब तक के लिए मुझे दी इजाज़त। अपना बहुत सारा ख्याल रखें, दुआ में याद रखें। अल्लाह हाफिज़।